Have you ever found yourself feeling completely drained, with no energy even for things that usually bring you joy? Or maybe you look at your tasks and can't even begin, as if an invisible weight is pulling you down. If you answered yes to these questions, there's a good chance you're dealing with something more serious than just laziness. This confusion is quite common because there are many similarities between burnout and laziness. Burnout syndrome is a psychological disorder caused by extreme exhaustion, emotional, physical, and mental, triggered by excessive stress, and always related to a person's work. This condition is also known as professional burnout syndrome and affects almost every area of a person's life. Today, we're going to talk about 10 signs that you're exhausted because of burnout and not just lazy. You feel tired all the time, even after sleeping well. A full night's sleep should leave you feeling refreshed, right? But with burnout, that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter if you've slept 8, 9, or even 10 hours. The fatigue doesn't go away. And let me tell you, this isn't a sign of laziness. Burnout is a deep issue, often tied to excessive responsibility or the constant need to be on high alert. When your mind is always overloaded, sleep just isn't enough to recover. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom, right? Studies show that people with burnout experience constant exhaustion because their brain never fully switches off. This is different from laziness, which is usually temporary and can be resolved with a good night's rest or a proper break. You've lost interest in things you used to enjoy. Remember that passion you had for drawing, cooking, or playing video games? With burnout, even these activities that once brought you joy start to lose their appeal. Nothing seems attractive, and you just want to lie down and do nothing. This is a clear sign that something is wrong. Burnout drains our mental energy so intensely that even the things that used to make us happy start to feel like a burden. The pleasure disappears, and life begins to feel like a series of obligatory tasks. Unlike laziness, where the lack of motivation is temporary, burnout creates a sense of disinterest that can last for months, even years. You're more irritable and impatient. Patience has never been your strong suit, but lately, you feel like you're on edge with everything? If even a simple question seems to set you off, it might be a sign of burnout. When we're exhausted, our ability to handle stress decreases significantly. Irritability becomes a reflection that we're overwhelmed and lack the emotional resources to deal with daily challenges. You know when someone says something harmless, and you snap back with an unexpected sharp response? That's not laziness, it's a sign that your body is crying out for help. An exhausted mind reacts disproportionately to small frustrations. Difficulty concentrating and poor memory. Trying to focus on anything feels like an impossible task. Do you read the same sentence multiple times and nothing sticks? Or maybe you walk into a room and forget why you went there. This is a classic sign of burnout. Mental exhaustion impacts our ability to concentrate and remember things. This happens because, with burnout, the brain is constantly dealing with high levels of stress. And when the brain is overloaded, it stops processing information the way it normally would. If you feel like your mind is constantly foggy, burnout is likely in control. Your body is showing physical signs of fatigue. It might seem like a paradox, but burnout doesn't just affect the mind. The body feels the impact too. Frequent headaches, muscle tension, gastrointestinal problems, and even heart palpitations are physical signs that often accompany mental exhaustion. And the most interesting part, these symptoms appear without any apparent cause. It's not because you over-exercised or ate something bad. It's simply your body crying out for help. Unlike laziness, where the body is just relaxed, burnout puts the body in a constant state of alertness. You're procrastinating a lot, but not due to lack of willpower. Procrastination is one of the symptoms most often mistaken for laziness. But the truth is that, with burnout, you procrastinate not because you want to delay things, but because you no longer have the mental energy to start. There's a big difference between not doing what needs to be done because you don't feel like it and not doing it because you don't have the energy to. It's like looking at a mountain you need to climb, but your legs are paralyzed. This is very different from common procrastination, where we generally have the energy and ability but are simply avoiding something. With burnout, it's as if an invisible barrier is preventing you from doing even simple tasks. Lack of motivation and feeling of worthlessness. If you're starting to question your worth and ability, this is an important sign. With burnout comes the feeling of worthlessness, that nothing you do is enough or has value. You feel disconnected from your work, your friends, and even yourself. It's not just laziness or temporary discouragement, but a constant emptiness. Burnout deeply affects our self-image. Even if you're delivering good results, internally, you perceive it as failure. This is a result of extreme fatigue and the continuous pressure that burnout creates. Difficulty making decisions. Simple things like choosing what to eat for lunch or what to wear in the morning start to feel like monumental tasks. Your mind is already so overloaded that even making small decisions becomes a burden. The ability to make decisions is directly affected by burnout because the brain is spending all its energy dealing with accumulated stress. Unlike laziness, where indecision comes from a lack of interest, with burnout it's a real inability to decide because the mind is in collapse. You're isolating yourself socially. Interacting with others, which used to be natural and even enjoyable, starts to feel like an exhausting task. With burnout, you might begin avoiding invitations, going out less, and even ignoring messages from friends. And it's not because you don't care about these people anymore, but simply because you no longer have the energy to interact. Social isolation is a way to try to preserve the little energy you have left. And here lies one of the major differences from laziness. With burnout, you want to be with people, but your body and mind simply can't handle it anymore. You feel disconnected from the present and the future. With burnout, you're not just physically and mentally exhausted but also emotionally drained. This can make you feel completely disconnected from the present. Things happen around you, but you're not really there. It's as if you're watching your own life but can't actively participate. Moreover, the future feels uncertain and scary. That spark in your eyes you once had when thinking about your dreams and goals is gone. The idea of improving seems distant, almost impossible. This total disconnection is a clear sign that burnout has taken over. Now, if you identified with these signs, I want to make something clear. You are not lazy. Burnout is a serious condition, recognized by the World Health Organization, and it needs to be treated. The first step is acknowledging that this exhaustion is not a weakness, but a cry for help from your body and mind. If you're going through this, consider seeking help from a mental health professional. And above all, be kind to yourself. The road to recovery may be long, but it is possible. If you're committed to your personal development and want to keep evolving and leveling up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, I always bring practical and powerful content to help you keep growing. And if this video helped you in any way, make sure to leave a like so that more people can be impacted as well. In the description, you'll find links to books that I've carefully selected, works that can completely transform the way you think and act. It's definitely worth checking out. And don't leave just yet. Take a look at the suggested videos here on the screen. They will help you even more on your personal development journey. See you there.